Yesterday, 6th November 2020, Kenyan lawyer Paul Gicheru made his first appearance at the ICC courts via video link. This happened at around 7 p.m. Kenyan time. This was really a confirmation of charges procedure to confirm that there is enough evidence to proceed with the trial. Looking at the circumstances of this case, where Bwana Paul Gicheru, and let me put this in Kenyan language, where Bwana Gicheru walked to the ICC with his own 2 feet. Looking at these circumstances, this is of course a mere formality. And what should happen next is that the charges will be confirmed. And we are told that this will happen in writing. Yeah, there'll be no other hearing on this. And then ngoma itaanza. Na ngoma itatambaa. Now, Bwana Paul Gicheru is a lawyer. But since he's on trial, ordinarily, he should have gotten another lawyer to represent him. Because it is not advisable when a doctor gets sick for him or her to treat themselves. You can imagine if they have some mental sickness. What would happen or not happen? But even if it is nothing to do with their brain, we are told a lot of sicknesses are mainly in the mind. And it is the same in the legal profession. You can't represent yourself in any serious defense. It is not recommended. But Paul Gicheru is representing himself. He is the lawyer for his own trial, which in my view confirms what we said earlier. Bwana Gicheru is at the ICC to tell a story. A real life story. He has gone there to sing. Under these circumstances, one would not need a lawyer because you know exactly what you're going to do. And you know where you're going with what you're going to do. And so you just need to liaise with the prosecution. And since you're a lawyer yourself, you don't need anybody to break it down for you. Ati wamesema nini? What does that mean? That is not necessary. For those who missed my earlier video, let me spell it out. Gicheru is not at the ICC to clear his name. No. He is there to make a full confession. You know, I've been asking myself a question. And I know many of you have been asking the same question. And the question is, did the local intelligence community know what Bwana Paul Gicheru was doing when he left the country? Because you have been told nobody close to him knew what he was about to do. Nobody had any idea. So I asked myself, does that include the local intelligence community? And so I immediately started looking for clues, telltale signs, to answer that question. And indeed, I have seen them. The answer is yes. One pointer is the fact that a lot of information is emerging, including information on what Paul Gicheru is going to say. These seem to be deliberate leaks to prepare Kenyans for what is about to be revealed. And most Kenyans were extremely surprised when the name of Mutula Kilonzo Sr. came up. Huh? Allah, what does the late lawyer have to do with ICC cases? But of course, Those who have read a book I produced in 2013 titled Why Mutula Was Murdered were not surprised. They understood immediately. I distinctly remember the 27th of April 2013, that's the day Mutula died, as if it was yesterday. I was in Kajiado County and I was taking a break. It was a Saturday. I was taking a break after a very busy schedule covering the 2013 general elections, which had happened in March, just a month earlier. I hardly take any breaks, but sometimes something called burnout threatens. And I'm forced to take a brief break, 1 or 2 days. You see, I had just completed a very crazy phase of research and writing, trying to explain the mystery of the 2013 presidential elections, which had culminated in my book, Mystery Monday, Unlocking the 2013 Kenyan Presidential Polls Secrets. Bottom line, I was exhausted. I didn't want to hear anything about politics until Monday. And so I was walking out of the swimming pool area of this hotel, and I walked into the lobby to get some drinks for my kids. And I noticed, flashed across the TV screens, was breaking news. Makueni senator dead. And my brief break, or holiday if you want to call it that, ended before it had even started properly. If you do something for a very long time, you develop something called instinct. And my instincts immediately told me, hapa iko kitu. And you can imagine the reaction of my family when I told them that they'd have to excuse me for at least an hour while I went back into the room. But you promised. My response, I'm sorry. Something very serious has happened. Mutula has passed on. Who is Mutula? The guy who has just been elected Makueni senator, the first senator of Makueni. And then my wife said, Wewe Chris, I'm going to post a comment on the Kumekucha blog telling your readers you never keep promises to your own family and they'll never trust you again. And so, nikawacha watu wamefura kama mandazi ya bama and switched on my phone as I headed to the room to power up my laptop. Many dead ends later, lots of frustrations later, not being able to get any information to help solve this mystery and to justify yet another book, I got a hot tip from somebody in the medical profession, which unlocked the entire mystery. Now, this is also going to be of great interest to many of you. Of all the books I've done, Why Mutula Was Murdered received the coldest reception. Conspiracy theory. You don't know what you're talking about. Chris, you watch too many movies. Punguza. But last night, over 7 years later, I quickly perused through this book and I was amazed. Because, above everything else, it has stood the test of time. Stay with me until the end of this video and I will tell you how you can get hold of a copy in case you're interested. Anyway, it seems Bwana Gicheru is going to start this story where all stories should start, at the beginning. And maybe we should try and give a title to this testimony. I believe it will be something like how solid evidence was made to vanish into thin air. And the kicker? Denying victims of the 2007 post-election violence justice, the justice that they deserved. Folks, if there's anything that is very clear so far, is that what is about to unfold at the ICC is the biggest story, the biggest revelation of our time concerning the country called Kenya. And if you don't believe me, let me quote leading Kenyan investigative journalist Dennis Onsarigo. Yeah, that guy of case files fame. In a tweet yesterday, Onsarigo said, and I quote, "This Kenyan ICC lawyer story is such a big deal, it might turn out into the biggest crime story in Kenya. Pay attention." End of quote. Yeah. And for this one, you might want to put the popcorn or the bobgon away. This is the kind of story where you take in a brief part of it and you have to go into the kitchen to drink water. And if you're a very emotional person, like Kumekucha Chris, you may want to have your handkerchief within reach.
You've watched the entire video right through. Thank you. And here is the amazing reward you have earned yourself for staying with us. Get this ebook Chris has been talking about today, that details the most sophisticated hit in the history of Kenya. You only need to pay $18.50 or Kenya shillings 1,850. You will then get the ebook Why Was Mutula Murdered? Plus Chris will also give you 3 months free membership to the weekly intelligence briefs and Club 1999 as well. And that is not all. Chris will throw in yet another super fascinating ebook for free. You can see its cover on the bottom right of your screens. It details what really happened in Kenya in January 2008. I am afraid this offer is valid for a very brief period, because of the highly sensitive nature of this information. So I would urge you to take action right away. To receive instant payment details in seconds, kindly send a blank email to youmissedthis@gmail.com. Do it now. youmissedthis@gmail.com.
Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.